it's such an awesome Friday. Yes, ikiwa ni tarehe ngapi? 16 hii, ikiwa ni February of the 16th of February 2024. And of course nakumbuka hii wiki imekuwa na mambo mengine hapo. 2 days ago, of course, najua hujasahau. Kuna watu walikuwa na celebrate pale the Valentine's Day na mambo mengi tu, and it has been a nice week, and I believe ya kwamba unaendelea vizuri. It's what I can almost call it's towards the culmination of the week. Najua kuna program mwingine pale Saturday inaitwa the bow culmination, lakini hapa leo ikiwa ni Friday, sasa hivi tunazungumza mambo ya wanaume. Yes, we call it the Men Matters Friday. And let me tell you something, ya kwamba in every society, na nimesema hivi na nitasema mara nyingi, of course, in every society we must redefine who the man is, okay? Kwa sababu tukikosa nafasi ya mwanaume katika society, mambo mengi of course yataharibika. And maybe some of the things ambazo zinaendelea saa hii, tunaangalia mambo, unaona ni kama maybe this thing is not working, this thing is not ingine ifanyi kazi and all that. Mainly ni kwa sababu mwanaume amekuwa displaced from his position. Yeah, mwanaume ametoka kutoka his role, the father, the protector, the provider, the vision bearer na mambo mengi kama hayo. Na that's why every Friday tunakutana hapa ikiwa ndani ya MBCI radio, the MBCI TV, that is. Nene wewe umekuwa kwa radio muda mrefu hadi unaanza kusahau uko kwa radio. Okay, this is the MBCI TV, of course, ndani ya Men Matters Friday, na nitakuwa naungana na a guest that is later. Leo mwenzangu Paul Kagi ako katika masuala mengine tu, tunajenga taifa bado nakwambia. Yeah, still kuhakikisha kwamba in different areas, in different aspects tunashughulikia masuala ya wanaume kwa njia iliyo safi sana. All right, thank you so very much. Mimi naitwa Munene David, and I'll be with you all the way to pale saa 6, okay? And I believe mambo ambayo tunaweza kuzungumza ni mambo ambayo itatusaidia sisi wote. Okay, primary focus ni kwa mwanaume, lakini pia wewe ambaye uko pale nyumbani, wewe uko kwa mtandao na umetune in, I believe there is something for you. Yes, kwa sababu tunapozungumza, unajua kuna mtu alisema ya kwamba now sisi kama unakumbuka the analogy, ile analogy ya kuni. Tulikuwa tunaambiwa sana, especially tukiwa shule pale. Ukiona mwanafunzi mwingine anaadhibiwa, unaambiwa sasa wewe cheka tu, unajua ya kwamba kuni zikiwa pale juu, kuna ile ilikuwa inaitwa itara, sio kama wewe unaijua. Kitambo in the village setup ilikuwa kuna zile kuni ziko kwa moto, zile zimekauka ndio ziko kwa moto, lakini zile zingine ambazo ziko mbichi, kuni mbichi, tulikuwa tukienda unakata kuni and then zinawekwa pale juu, the fire space, the cooking area zinawekwa pale, somewhere pale juu, so that wakati hizi ziko chini zinawaka, zile ziko juu zinapigwa na moshi and the heat, alafu hadi zinakauka. So zikiwa pale juu, kwa sababu ya ziko wet, ziko na maji, sometimes they drip. Kuna hiyo maji ingekuwa ina drip, and so the msemo ukafanya ukasemekana ya kwamba kuni zikiwa pale juu huwa zinacheka zenye ziko chini. Kumbe hazijui ya kwamba in a short while, it's just a matter of days, all weeks, all months, hizo ndizo zitakuwa zinateketezwa pale chini. So in this case, sometimes you may not be the person mwenye ako directly involved in whatever we are talking about. Kama kwa mfano, last week we started on issues stress. Mambo ambayo yanasumbua wanaume, imesumbua wanaume sana, mambo inaitwa stress. Na on Friday tukaangalia the types of stress, na tukaangalia mambo mengi pale, and the stressors, tukaona nini pia hufanya wanaume wanapata hizi stress in the first place, what aids ama what promotes this stress in men. Na well, you may not be a man even to start with, maybe when unafuata sahi you may not be a man, lakini you relate with men. Yeah, so kila wakati of course kuna wanaume una relate na wao, and kwa sababu wewe whether ni mwanaume ama si mwanaume, uko na mwanaume either kwa nyumba, either baba, either uncle, either your brother, either wafanyikazi unafanya kazi nao, and so you interact with men. Na pia kama wewe ni mwanaume sasa unajifahamu hata kwa undani zaidi, and that is why we are asking a question: what are the major signs of stress in men? So wewe nikakuuliza ama nikikuuliza wewe, what is the major cause of stress in men? Kwa sababu stress ni kweli wanaume wako nazo. Although Reverend Mahoya last week katambia kwamba huwezi kuomba ati stress iondoke, ati ama uombe ama useme ya kwamba sasa hakutakuwa na stress, but what you can pray for is maybe getting the grace ya kuweza kuhandle the different stresses in life, kwa sababu life sometimes also becomes a bit beautiful kwa sababu ya challenges kimpango, where there is no stress, kuna mambo mengi hayatafanyika. Do you know many things actually happen because there is pressure? When there is no stress, there is no pressure. And when there is no pressure, many things will not be done. Many things will not happen. Sio tu kazi kwa kufanya kazi kikawaida peke yake. Sio tu kazi kikawaida peke yake. Kwa sababu, maybe just asking a question. If there is no pressure, even a bullet would move. Yeah? Mneno kwa nini umeanza na example ya bullet? Okay, wachana na bullet. If there is no pressure, let me see the other thing that will not happen. If there is no pressure, hata wewe huwezi kula, huwezi meza chakula if there is no pressure. Why? Kwa sababu that food must pass through katikati ya meno, inawekelewa pressure ingine inakuwa crushed. Inagongwa na meno. That's another pressure. That's another type of a pressure. So it's a stress. The food has been subjected to stress, na ndio ikaweza kukusaidia. In short, stress sio kwamba ni kitu mbaya, but I think the type of stress ndio tunaweza tukasema hii type of stress si mzuri, ama this level of stress maybe hii ndio imekuwa too much, ama this cause ya stress ndio tunahitaji tuiangalie ama tuishughulikie. Otherwise in itself nilisikia ni kitu mzuri, but then we are still yet to find out more about that. That's why we are asking, tuambie, what's the major cause? What's the major cause? The major sign, that is, the major sign. What's the major sign of stress? Wewe ukiona mwanaume, unaweza njua aje ya kwamba huyu mtu ako na stress. Ukimwangalia hivi useme, oi, huyu ndugu venye nimemuona, huyu itabidi Mungu amemsaidia. Kwa sababu, hii kitu inaweza kumweka chini anytime. This thing can put him down any moment. So how do you know in the first place? So what is the sign, the major sign that kuna mwanaume ako na stress na si stress kidogo? I had a case last Valentine's ilikuwa nini? That was on Wednesday. Yes. On Wednesday I had a case where mwanaume amefika nyumbani jioni, alifika nyumbani jioni, and akakuta hata hakuna mtu anaongea naye, akakuta hakuna mtu akona shughuli naye. Okay, watoto walikuwa innocent, the children did not know what was happening, lakini walikuwa under strict instructions. Baba yenu akikuja leo, usiongee na yeye, don't say anything to him. Kwanza hata akiingia, hata kama mmezoea kumsalimia, kila mtu energy ya kwake. What kind of a man is that? Okay, so the man comes. It's a story, I was getting it at night. Nilipata usiku. Unajua on Wednesdays tuko na, on MBCI radio tuko na hizi late night program. So that was one of the issues. And so the man ameingia kwa nyumba, hakuna mtu akona shughuli na yeye. Akaangalia hivi, anapima, unapima temperature za environment. Akaangalia akashindwa sini kama ni chakula, nimefanya shopping kwa hii nyumba. Okay, kama ni fees, watoto wako shule, actually nimemaliza kulipa fees. Kama ni nyumba, sina rent arrears. Akaangalia, tuja kosana leo. Lakini hakuna mtu akona shughuli naye. Mke akakataa kumwekea chakula. Hamuongeleshi. Anamuuliza sasa ni nini? Makosa ni gani? Nimefanya nini? Hakuna kuongea, amenyamaziwa. Watoto kwenda kujaribu kuongea na mtoto, watoto wanatoroka wanaenda bedroom. Jamaa amefika tu around 2:30 hapo. And that moment, he does not know what he is guilty of. Ajui crime yake ni gani. He is being accused, ama he is a victim of a crime that he does not know. Okay, now ikafika around 3:30 hivi, jamaa akaona huku hakuna mtu akona shughuli yangu. So what he decided, okay, acha nijiwekee chakula. Kajiwekea chakula, akakula, and then mke akaenda akalala. Now the gentleman anaenda kulala, anakuta mlango ya bedroom imefungwa. So anaenda na of course unajua you don't expect that mwanaume amebeba funguo ya bedroom ati anatabianga na funguo ya bedroom. Who does that? So amefungiwa, then anauliza sasa swali, basi niambie shida ni gani, basi hata niambie what's my mistake. Alafu anaulizwa tu swali moja, kwani hujui leo ni lini? Na wanaanza kushangaa, kwani hujui leo si ni okay, tuko si ni Wednesday. Wednesday lini? Si Wednesday wiki hii. Utalala huko, utalala nje. Okay, niambie please, what is it? Leo ni Wednesday. Tuko mwezi gani? Of course tuko February. Si January tumemaliza juzi, tuna venye January kwanza ilikuwa imetaka kutukalia hapa na tushavuka hiyo. Tuko February sasa. Na wewe uone kitu yoyote hapo na February? Anauliza, my dear, ni nini baya? We are in February. What makosa gani nimefanya? Akaulizwa, okay basi, unajifanya hujui. Leo ni tarehe ngapi? Leo ni 14. 14. Wewe nakwambia huyo ndugu alikuwa na stress akinipea hiyo story. 14. Na unasema vizuri leo ni 14. 14 inakuanga na nini? Sasa jamaa akaanza kushtuka, yani yeye anasumbuka. Hii 14 iko na nini? Unajua yeye kazi yenye anafanya, he works in a company. And in the company there is ako kwa ile area ya inaitwa nini, loading, you know, kwa loading and offloading. So he works in a go down. So in the go down mainly wewe ukiingia kazi ni kuchukua hizo mizigo ukiload kwa gari. Kazi ni actually kazi yako, your area is between gari imesimama, and of course gari inakuja inafunguliwa mlango, so uko between hapo na kuingia kwa na kwa the go down. So manager ako pale, ama the floor manager anakuambia wewe fulani mizigo hii weka kwa hii gari, wewe fulani mizigo hii weka kwa hii gari. That man rarely gets any time even to interact with the outside world, hata kutoka nje, kwa sababu pia anataka pia aone kama anaweza kusecure ka overtime kadogo, so that at least he can get something, he can earn something better, something more, can make something more for the family. So this 14th day jamaa alishinda kazi, alishinda kwa go down. In the go down. Ndio huyu amekuja nyumbani, luckily enough wako na transport, wanapewa transport na the company. So amekuwa picked kutoka pale kwa job, amerudishwa home, so ameingia nyumbani. So anajaribu kupiga hesabu ni makosa gani amefanya kutoka asubuhi kwenda job na jioni kuletwa. The mother inakataa command. The mother is not mathing. Only for him to be told, wapi maua yangu? And then you aanza kuklika na angalia maua. Sema, ni Valentine's. Okay. Aki, I'm sorry. Hata sikujua, hata sikumbuka. Okay, that was a story. I went up vizuri. We were trying to handle it late in the night on Wednesday, okay? Now, let me say this. That in itself is one of a major cause ya stress kwa wanaume. How that there are people that don't understand this man. Because this man kwa hakika kabisa ukimwangalia kwenye ameshinda, kazi ya ameshinda akifanya, he was doing that as an expression of love to his family. Yani kazi yake yenyewe venye anafanya kazi, and the things that he does, it is because he loves his family primarily. But the family does not understand that expression of love as long as hakuna maua. Sasa sijui kama wewe ungekuwa ndugu kama huyo na mlango ishafungwa, I don't know how would you react, by the way. How wewe ungereact aje? And number 2, ukiwa ni that lady, was it justified kufanyia this man jambo kama hilo? Was it justified? Maybe hata angemkumbusha mchana mpigia mwambie okay, baba Kevo, ama baba Joy, ama whatever the name, amwambie please, unakumbuka leo ni lini? Amwambie leo sasa amweleze hizo vitu zote, na mwambie ni Wednesday ni nini hizo zote. Amwambie wewe leo mimi na expect utunulie a gift as an expression of love maybe to us today. Maybe hapo sasa hangejajiwa venye amekuja kuwa judge ama kuwa treated maybe the way he was treated later. Now that is why we are saying here that ndio tunazungumza na wanaume, we are speaking to men, yes, but as much as we are speaking to men, kuna watu wengine ambao ni wahusika wakuu. You know, they are major stakeholders when it comes to men issues, when it comes to men matters. Why? Kwa sababu we cannot expect the man to change as in peke yake. The man is not in isolation, yeah. Man is not in a world of his own peke yake, apana. Man is in a society. Man is interactive. Man ana interact na watu wengine. Na kwa sababu hiyo, because of that, we have to treat this man na kumpatia an opportunity. We have to give him a room at least even to express himself, right? Now, tukaangalia last week the major cause, no, not the causes, but the signs. We started with the types. We were looking at the types of stress, and tukasema kuna zile ambazo ziko related na kazi. You know, now as a brief recap, kuna zile ambazo ziko related na kazi, and kuna zile ambazo ziko pale pia katika familia. Unajua kuna stress, family in itself. Kuna watu wanasema ya kwamba familia haileti stress. There are people that say that, you know, family does not give me stress. It is my stress. Ya kwamba haimaanishi ya kwamba familia ndio inaleta stress. Inamaanisha ya kwamba yeye akienda kwa family, primarily akiingia tu kwa nyumba hivi, already that is a stress in itself. Because number one, and let me be a crusader of the boy child hapa dakika mbili. Sometimes in a family, it is not right. It is not very right in the family when the man gets in the house, alafu inakuwa ni kama stress imeingia sasa. Yaani mwanaume kuingia kwa nyumba unakuta ni kama stress in itself imeingia. Mwanaume kukua kwa nyumba ndio hiyo stress. It should not be like that. It should not be like that. And inafika mahali inakuwa kwamba mwanaume akiingia kwa nyumba ana define, ukimwambia can you list for me 3 of your major stresses in life? Anaandika stress number 1 in my life, 1 wife, 2 family, 3 children, 4 job, akisonga hivyo. It should not be like that. It should be when man is thinking of his family, when man is thinking of his wife, his children, and I think of a stress reliever, not a stress causer, not a stressor, but a reliever of stress. All right? So tukaangalia mambo ya the types of stress, and yeah, we had a wonderful discussion. And by the way, I'm glad kwa sababu leo tuko na Reverend Mahoya in the house today. Yeah, and tunazidi kuzungumza tu mambo ya wanaume, of course, wanaume and stress, you know, men and stress. And today we'll be focusing more on the causes, you know, the causes of stress, and not only the causes but also the effects of stress. Kwa sababu stress iko na effects zake na si chache. Stress iko na major effects na sio stress chache, sio effects chache, right? Kwa sababu there are people ambao sahi as we speak, people have been put 6 feet under kwa sababu ya kitu inaitwa stress. Kuna watu ambao of course marriages are not working any longer. Why? Kwa sababu kulikuwa na stress that was never managed, so kukakosa what we call stress management. Many things are happening today because of this thing we call stress. Na kwa sababu the man of God is in the house, our guest today, najua ataweza hata kuturedefine ama kutukumbusha what is this stress is. And one of the ways unaweza kuzungumza nasi leo, maybe usizungumze nasi sana leo kwa SMS ama kwa WhatsApp. Leo ningependa our conversation iende pale kwa Facebook. Yes. Enda pale katika Facebook page. That is MBCI TV Facebook page pale. And you get the conversation that you've already started. You know, this conversation is live on Facebook pale MBCI TV. And as we start, as you follow through the conversation, that is where you get to drop your comment. That is where you get to drop your answer. Like, for instance, I've asked the question, what are the major signs? What are the major signs of stress in men? What is a major sign of stress in men? So you can speak to us pale katika Facebook page. And yes, on the Facebook page, ukiandika hapo, I'll be getting your name. Number one, I'll get your maybe you can tell us your name. You can tell us where you're watching us from. And you can also now kuchangia na kutuambia. In the story that I've just shared, kwa hiyo story ambayo nimepeana ya huyu dugu, yeah, the stress that I've just shared about this brother. Number one, how is it that how would you rate this woman? The behavior yenye alifanya, ile tabia yenye alifanya, wewe unaweza kusema nini kuhusu hiyo? What would you say about that? Number two, do you think that this man should have been held liable ama accountable, ya kwamba maybe maybe he should have known better that I should have known better that it is a Wednesday, that it is a Valentine's Day, that ni siku ya kubai maua. Now, should we exonerate him? Tunafaa kumsamehe, asamehewe ama asisamehewe? Okay, I'll tell you later kama mlango ilifunguliwa. I'll be telling you that later kama mlango ilifunguliwa. But that is a case, as I said, we were handling it on a Wednesday night, the Valentine's Day, hiyo tukiwa hapo kwa radio usiku. Now, before maybe tuende mbali sana kwa sababu kuna mambo mengi. Nishakwambia unaweza kutuzungumzia pale katika Facebook. Yes, hapo MBCI TV, write the comment. Give us the answer to the question, the major signs of stress in men. Give us the major signs of stress in men. All right, that's number one. And number two, the second one, tell me now, do you feel or do you think that this woman was justified, yeah, could treat the husband the way Arim treat, yeah, in fact including influence watoto? Unajua sasa watoto waliwekwa kwa mix ambayo haikukuwa yao, yeah, so watoto wakawekwa kwa mix yenye si yao. Watoto wakaambiwa wasisalimie baba, so baba anakuja anajiongelesha, baba anajiwekea chakula mwenyewe hiyo siku. Baba akienda kulala nakuta mlango ya bedroom imefungwa. Na kwa sababu gani? Hata saa hii sofa hajajua makosa, baadaye anajua, ndio anaambiwa anaambiwa leo si ni Valentine's Day, maua yangu iko wapi? Now, how do you rate that woman? What would be your advice to her as well? Lakini kwanza, first things first, kwanza tujiunge pamoja na our guest today, ambaye ni none other than Reverend Sammy Mahoya. Karibu sana mtumishi wa Mungu.
Thank you very much, sir.
And most welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
You are doing well.
Niko salama kabisa.
Powerful.
Leo tukamtuma Bwana Kagi maeneo mengine. Kuna kazi anafanya leo ya muhimu sana. Kuna kitu anafanya very very important.
Powerful.
Na ambacho pia kina uguzo sana kwa maisha ya kesho ya mwanaume.
Great.
Yeah, especially a good work.
Yes.
How has your week been? Unajua
my week has been great.
Yes.
Just very busy and tight. Trying to coordinate a few things here and there.
Yes.
And managing stresses.
Now.
And stressors.
Now that you have been managing stresses and stressors, kindly just remind us, because probably especially our guests ambaye maybe hajawahi interact na Reverend Sammy tena, atuambie, and who is Reverend Sammy Mahoya and what does he do, by the way?
Reverend Sammy Mahoya is a pastor. I'm also a principal of TVET College here in Nakuru, KTTI, and a Kingdom Seekers Church.
Yes.
Reverend Sammy is also a trainer in Christian ministry, chaplaincy, leadership, Christian theology, and so forth. I'm also a family man.
Yes.
I'm married, one wonderful wife, and blessed with 2 boys.
Wow. Glory to God.
But I'm a capacity builder. I'm wired to build people.
Yes.
I'm a people builder.
So you are a people builder.
People builder.
So anything that has to do with people,
that is where I land with all my tools.
Yes.
And my focus is the head.
So wewe tools zako ni za kufungua kichwa na kuibadilisha.
Kichwa.
So unaweza
give me the head.
Yes.
I have the tools.
Yes.
Yes. But I also deal with the heart.
Yes.
But I think majorly I believe my personal mission in life is to unlock the mind.
Yes.
Because I believe when you unlock the mind, problems affecting humanity grow smaller.
All right.
So, and I believe what makes people get stuck in life is ignorance, lack of information, that is.
Yes.
And the other thing that makes people really have challenges in life is lack of courage. Therefore, my mission as a person is to unlock the mind, inspire courage in people, because I believe once you do these two things, people can solve their important problems. But it's not possible to solve problems in life.
Yes.
Unless people have information and have courage to face those problems. That's who I am.
Yes.
And God has wired us differently. Our leader, Apostle John Kimani William, has been sharing about becoming a kingdom builder. My ministry is called Kingdom Builders.
Yes.
And the reason why it's called Kingdom Builders is because God has called me to build. And my specific line of building is building people.
You build people.
You build people.
Wow.
Yes.
That is awesome. Na karibu sana. You've been a great blessing to us and to the body of Christ and to the nation.
Yes.
Especially when you're dealing, especially within the Tibet, you know, the Tibet itself. Siku ya leo, I think kuna mtu nilikuwa nazungumza na yeye.
Yes.
Akasema inakaa ni kama in the coming future or in the near future kazi nyingi zinaenda kwa AI. Lakini kuna kazi AI haiwezi kukusaidia.
You're right.
Haiwezi kufix pipe ya maji home. Maji pipe kitoboka home. AI haiwezi kusaidia.
Hata haiwezi kukuondolea stress. Actually inaongeza
stress. Now last week tuka touch on stress in men na tukaguza kidogo on types of stress.
Exactly.
Maybe in a nutshell.
Yes.
Unaweza kutukumbusha kidogo tu maybe what are these types of stress, ndio sasa tuingie kwa topic ya leo.
Yes.
Yeah, ndio sasa tuingie kwa topic ya leo on the causes of stress in men.
Very good.
Yes.
When you talk about stress in men, last week we talked about what is stress, and I said stress is tension. The stress is tension between you and the demands of life. You know, life has demands. Situations comes with the demand. People come to you with the demand for you to respond. And when you have inability to respond to situation, tension develop, and therefore stress is that tension.
Yes.
Stress is when you are facing a challenging situation or a situation that need you to act, and the tension that comes from the demand to act, that's what we refer to as stress. Stress is triggered by so many things in this life. Sometimes you have stress because of positive things. Sometimes you have stress because of negative things.
Yes.
People can cause you stress and situations can cause you stress. So one of the things I want to tell the viewer today is that stress is common to all people. There are a few things we said about stress. Number one, we said stress is universal. Stress is common to all people. The rich and the poor face stress. The ignorant and the wise face stress. And we said even the rich get more stressed than the poor, because handling wealth is difficult than handling poverty. So stress is universal. And the other thing we said about stress is inevitable. You cannot evade stress.
Yes.
You can only manage stress, reduce stress. You can only adapt to stress, but you can never avoid stress. Something else that is very important for me to mention here, that probably the viewer missed to understand. Sometimes you define something, it's good to say what something is not.
Maybe.
Yes.
Now, before we say what stress is not, and now as we launch into the causes of stress itself.
Yes.
So let's first go for a short break. We go for a break kwanza, and then after the break,
yes,
tukuja tuangalie what stress is not,
yes,
and then what are the causes
of stress.
Don't go too far. We'll be short after this short break.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Na mimi nikamfunga ule mtoto vizuri, kumbe wakati unamfunga mtoto ni kuaga anaaga, lakini mimi singejua. Kwa mgongo anajinyoosha, kumbe anakata roho. Mama alikuwa mgonjwa, alikuwa anasema amefungwa kichwa na kamba. Na anapotea usiku, na akipatikana anakuwa amenjichafua na kunjipaka kinyesi ya mwanadamu. Vile mtoto alikufia kwa mgongo wangu, si rahisi kupata watoto, lazima nitengenezwe kiuganga.
Nani anakuambia hivyo?
Ni nyanya yangu mwenye alikuwa amesaa baba. Kwa sababu nilimblindi kiwango sijawahi sahau, hiyo kitu niliona in my life hata leo hii.
Alone.
Kabisa. Nikakuta mahali nilikuwa, ile ndamu nilitoa sijawahi sahau mpaka leo hii. Na bando iko. Sikupelekwa hospitali, sikununuliwa painkiller or anything. Nikasikia kichwa yangu na mimi imefungwa na kamba. Nywele yangu ilikuwa kidogo, nikaingiza kindole nitoe hiyo kamba. Sikuipata hii kamba. Na hizo story mimi nikamaliza kwa sababu sasa sioni kamba, lakini kichwa imekaswa. Nilipoingia form 1, ile kamba ilinifunga, reality yake sasa ikakuja.
Life is brimming with moments worth celebrating. The dreams we chase, the connections we cherish, the laughter that fills our hearts. These are the true treasures. But sometimes, the path to those moments can feel clouded by financial worries. What if you could invest in a future where chasing your dreams isn't just a desire, but a reality? With N-Wealth Capital, small steps lead to big possibilities. With N-Wealth Money Market Fund, you can secure your financial future for a better tomorrow. Meticulously crafted for growth, carefully managed for safety of your investments and growth, you can invest as little as 1,000 Kenyan shillings. Whether you yearn for the freedom to travel, the joy of owning a home, or the security of a comfortable retirement, we enable your dreams to reality. Sign up today through www.nwealth.co.ke/capital or call 0700 617 443 and secure a lifetime of financial well-being and dignity through N-Wealth. N-Wealth Capital Unit Trust Scheme is approved by CMA, which does not take responsibility for the financial soundness of the scheme. Prices of shares and income may fluctuate and the right to redeem shares may be suspended. N-Wealth Capital Limited is a subsidiary entity of N-Wealth Financial Services Limited with regulatory approvals to provide pensions, investments, and insurance services.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Yes, welcome back. This is Men Matters Friday. And siku ya leo tunazungumza masuala ambayo inasumbua wanaume, and these are issues of stress. And tulianza last Friday, yes, na siku ya leo niko pamoja na Reverend Sami Mahoya, who is a principal of KTTI, a pastor, a trainer, na anafungua watu kichwa na toolbox ya kubadilisha akili za watu. You know, he's a capacity builder. All right, thank you so very much kwa kuwa pamoja nasi. You can get to our Facebook page pale katika MBCI TV. Yeah, that's where you get to comment, that's where you get to share, that's where you get to like what we are doing right here today. Na tukakuuliza swali, what are the major signs of stress in men? What are the major signs of stress in men? You can contact us, ama you can engage with us on MBCI TV Facebook page pale, tujibu pale, and then also as you give me the answer to the question ambayo nilikuwa nimeuliza pale awali. Lakini kwanza, kabla hatujaingia katika kuangalia what stress is not kwa sababu tumeambiwa what is stress, lakini sasa tujaambiwa what stress is not. Now before we know what stress is not, nataka kwanza tuende pale kwa street. Yeah, nataka tuungane na our reporters pale in the street, watuambie what are people saying on the streets regarding men and stress.
Habari?
Mzuri.
Kwa majina unaitwa nani?
Cyrus Kamau.
County gani?
Laikipia County.
So tunapata kuuliza swali ambalo tunasema hivi, ni changamoto zipi ambazo wanaume wanapitia sasa hivi?
Changamoto ni mingi bro kwa wanaume saa hii. Ya kwanza, wenye maisha iko juu. Mpaka mtu ang'ang'ane kabisa ili awekelee kitu kwa meza, atumanie wazazi kitu, yeye mwenyewe ajihimu mahitaji yake. Unakuta hata jioni ukienda nyumbani unabaki na sufuri, hauna anything. Na pia unategemea keshoe uamkie. Kwa hivyo inabidi mwanaume mahali yako ajitume zaidi na zaidi. Tusipoangalia vizuri, tunaweza pata hata wanaume wanapiga block, kichwa ishaharibika. Kwa hivyo mwanaume hayuko mahali vizuri, ako mahali mbaya.
Kusipokea changamoto ya kifedha, kuna changamoto ingine ambao wanaume hupitia?
Iko juu unaweza pata mwanaume pengine hakuenda shule na anahitajika na awe ameenda mbele kidogo ili akimu mahitaji ya familia yake. Unaweza pata school fees hakupata, hiyo inabidi arudi nyuma tena. Kwa hivyo mambo ni mingi bro kabisa.
Huku mashida zenye tunapita, mashida ni mingi huku sana manzee. Huku hadi vitu zimepanda bei, unga, kazi hakuna. Manzee tuko na shida mingi sana bro. Manzee tunajaribu tu kuomba hii gava manzee, hadi makazi hakuna. Tuliambiwa by the way kazi tunapata na hakuna. Kuna kazi tuko nayo manzee. Huku tu ni kuhaso, kuna wera, kuna aje. Manzee hatuna mambo mingi ya kusema. Huku tumekasirika sana.
Juu unapata vitu zishaanza kupanda, hadi saa hii nikifanya hii mboka bana, vitu zenye zinatoka hadi China bado zishapanda. Unalipisha tu customer tu in case tu upate tu enye tu utapata tu kupata tu ya kukula, lakini huwezi eka hadi familia fiti. Una get?
Na mimi naweza sema hivi, wanaume hupitia challenges mingi juu ndio wanashikilia familia. Unaweza pata mwanaume ndiye analipa nyumba, ndiye analisha familia yake, na kwa upande wa wanawake unapata bibi naye analea watoto huko nyumbani. So mwanaume ndiye breadwinner wa nyumba. So hizo challenges wanaume wengi hupitia mambo mingi, lakini hawezi onyesha familia yake juu anaona familia yake itaanguka. So anaamua kunyamaza na hiyo stress. Baadhi yao unapata wengine sasa watu wengine wanawasoma juu wanaona already wako na stress. So hizo stress hizo zinachangia wanaume wengi kuingia kwa pombe, wanaingia kwa madawa juu anashindwa ataabia nani juu unajua hakuna mwanaume baba mwingine. So wanaume wana end up wengine wanajitoa uhai juu wanakosa kuvumilia. Hizo stress pia zinachangia wanaume kama tuseme kama saa hizi umeenda kufanya kazi, umerudi kwa nyumba na hujapata kakitu, So unaona huwezi ambia bibi hauna pesa, so inabidi wewe uvumilie, unakaa nao, unaamkia hiyo siku nyingine, unaangalia kama utapata pesa hiyo siku nyingine. So unapata wanaume wanapitia challenges mingi, na ningeomba hata serikali kama iko na uwezo inaweza saidia kuempower wanaume. Juu siku hizi tunaona kama Hustler Fund, kuna Women Fund, pesa kaa hizo za serikali zingine zikuja kwa wanaume wapewe pesa mingi, juu ndio wanashikilia familia sana, na kazi ya wanawake wanatusaidia kulea. Although baadhi yao kuna wengine wako na kazi.
Na askari wakikuja hapa wanashikaga sisi, akikutisha 500 hata unashindwa wewe, kama hujakula 500 utapata, huwezi pata hiyo 500, unakuja utatini idleness. Ni kazi ya tuna ndio wanatushikaga ovyo ovyo hapa. Hawa watu wengi wanakuaga hapa wajaajiriwa, ni kujitafutia, wanajitafutia gia.
Unajua kuna challenges ambazo nimesikia, zingine ambazo sikujua kama ni challenges. Well, kuna wale wanasema kama kuna uju wa mwisho akisema ya kwamba polisi hata wakikuja hapo hawashiki wanawake, wanashika tu wanaume pekee. As in, I think that is a like stereotyping or something. Lakini pia kuna mmoja amesema kuna challenge hata ya kuwa provider. Is that a challenge?
Yeah, it's a challenge to be a real man. It's a challenge to be a provider. That's why men who provide for the families and take care of their children have stood to the challenge. But I would say it is
a challenge.
Yeah, it is a challenge. Yeah, it's not easy to be a provider, taking care of your family and everything, ensuring every one of them is happy. Is this challenge, and especially some fathers have got more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 children. So you can imagine that challenge.
Yes.
I still remember how my father and my mom used to provide for us. We are born 10, and I could see 10 plates spreading like this, and every plate has food. And you can imagine, as a firstborn, I watched that. So I could tell at some point there is no food in the house, and we are forced to go with my mother to look for any kind of job so that the other children could eat. So I would definitely agree with that man. Being a provider is a challenge.
Yes.
And men who provide for their family have stood to the challenge.
So wakati mwingine wakati tunafikiria mambo ya heroes, I think there are times when we need to think of these men as heroes. Anyone who has
men who provide for their families,
yes,
for sure they are heroes. And any man who is listening to us and you are a good provider, indeed you are a hero in this world. Providing for your family, you are a hero.
Wow, awesome.
You are.
Now,
because weak men don't provide for their families.
Yes. That is why hata Biblia inasema ya kwamba watu lazima wa provide the family, otherwise watakuwa condemned to the other category of the unbelievers, the infidels.
Exactly.
All right. So sijui kama kuna mwingine hapo ambaye amesema kitu ambacho you'd like to comment about before we go to what stress is not.
I think I captured the man who said that maisha imekuwa ngumu. And that's why men are stressed.
Yes.
He's saying one of the causes of stress in men is because life has gone up. But I must also say, I totally agree with him. Life has gone up. A lot of stresses are affecting people. But it's good as a man to think about strategies of adapting to the current life we are living in.
Yes.
So don't force things as a man. Try to downgrade where necessary. If life is not making sense at this moment, you can always downgrade and go down 1 or 2, 3 steps to what you can manage.
Yes.
So don't try to fight stress by maintaining your standard of life. Sometimes you come down. There are times you reduce what you consume, you reduce the kind of house you're living in. You can always downgrade to handle stress. So I agree life is difficult, challenges are so many, but I also believe God is there, and we cannot join the choir of singing problems. We have to adjust and be able to focus on what is working.
Wow, that's awesome and very well put. And now maybe back to where we are. Niulize swali. Mimi najua stress ni nini.
Yes.
Okay. What is it that maybe I may defining stress as that
Yes.
it is not?
In this life, last time we talked about what stress. I am looking at this scripture here. John 16:33. I have told you these things so that in me you have peace. In this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world.
Yes.
One other thing I would want to begin by saying, Jesus said, in this world we will suffer many trouble. That is to say, life will never be free from trouble. I have heard people say, me, I don't want trouble. But you'll be troubled even when you don't want. Even when you don't want trouble.
Yes.
And that makes us ask ourselves a very important question. If Jesus said we are going to have many troubles, then stress is those troubles. And they can never be evaded.
Yes.
And we all know that tension is not going to go. But there are times, my brother, we associate other things to stress that are not stress at all. And I would like to mention a few here. One of the things stress is not a sign of weakness. When Jesus said, in this world you will suffer many trouble, you can be strong and be troubled. So you can be strong and you are suffering stress. Actually,
yes.
Even when you become great in life, stress will still attack you on top there. You've heard John Maxwell say, it is lonely at the top. Because when you are highly blessed, you are a leader, you are financially stable, you still have stress because of those blessings. And therefore we cannot associate stress with weakness. I do believe there are people who can arouse stress because of a weakness, one or two. But because stress is universal and equalizes all people, we cannot say stress is a sign of weakness. It's not weak people who have stress, it's all people. Weak, strong, rich, poor, male, female, all people.
Someone said,
yes,
the rich also cry.
The rich also cry.
Yes.
And men also cry. Really, men
yes.
cry.
Yes.
So number two, stress is not permanent conditions. It's good to help every man understand that if you are going through any stress, it's not a permanent condition. Actually, stresses are temporal. Provided you have strategies and ways of addressing this stress, there's no stressful condition that remains forever. It's good to help every person handling stress, any man handling stress, now to understand stress is not a permanent condition.
Yes.
You know, sometimes people, when they are stressed, they make permanent decisions. But because it's not a permanent condition, it should not be it should not warrant for permanent decisions. Sometimes you see families are going through hard times and the wife is stressed and you decide to leave that marriage, file divorce and cause separation. Sometimes you really need to find ways first on how to manage the stress because stresses are not permanent condition. The next thing is
so maybe then I think on that they may not be permanent. That means today I may be dealing with this type of stress. Tomorrow I'll be dealing with another stress.
Exactly.
But not this one.
Yes.
So if I make a permanent decision based on this one, tomorrow another type of stress will manifest itself.
And you keep on making so many permanent decisions because of stress. And that's why a lack of information about handling stress has cost people a lot. Because you are stressed, you made a very serious decision because of stress. Sometimes we say, when you are highly stressed, don't make decisions that are permanent. Try to handle to calm your heart, deal with your mind, and then try to adjust few things before you make a decision.
Sure.
Because stress is never a permanent condition. And one of the challenges we have is people who make decisions that are permanent because they are stressed. You leave a job because you are stressed. Sometimes those stresses in the workplace do come to an end.
Yes.
Some of them are brought by misunderstandings. Some of them are brought by time is not yet.
Yes.
For things to be addressed.
Yes.
So those situations in the workplace can also bring stress. But it's not good to make permanent decisions because stresses are temporal.
Right.
They are not permanent.
Awesome.
The third one, stress is not a character flaw. Character flaw, I mean, it doesn't mean you have a character problem.
Sio kwa sababu ya tabia mbaya.
You know, si tabia mbaya. You can be a well-behaved person, holy and God-fearing, and still suffer stress. It doesn't mean you have bad habits. It doesn't mean your character is wanting. As a man, you are not suffering stress because you lack character. Sometimes even you can be upright, God-loving, well-behaved, and you're still going to face a lot of stress in your life. And then the next thing is the issue of it's not a sign of failure.
Yes.
You know, sometimes people think because you are stressed, you are failed. Actually, success comes with a lot of stress than failure. Yeah. You know, failure, you are being stressed of managing something that didn't work. But here you are managing things that worked, and maintaining what is working is very hard.
Somebody said that failure is an orphan.
Failure is an orphan, doesn't have ownership.
no one wants to associate with them.
Everybody wants to associate with the...
But success attracts everybody. Yes.
Yeah, failure is a child of nobody, and everybody wants to associate with the success.
Yes.
And therefore we see people who are stressed as failures. Sometimes as a man you feel stressed and you think you are a failure. Stress does not mean you have failed. Stress simply means you are trying. And actually, I always say, instead of seeing stress as failure in life, see stress as an opportunity to learn new things, to change your tactics. See stress as a way of addressing problems in a different angle.
Sure.
It's not one size fit for all. Stress is not a one size fit for all.
Yes.
That's number 5. When you are going through stress, you are not going to face stress another is facing. And therefore, I always advise people, never tell someone, why are you stressed of small minor things?
Kitu kama ina kupea stress.
Mimi nasumbuliwa na vitu kubwa hapa nayo unaniletea stress ndogo ndogo hazina miguu. You see, stress is not one size fit for all.
Yes.
Naonanga, we need to be like our God. Kijana anapoteza ile taya. Unajua anakuwa na stress kubwa sana.
Yes.
Taya ikiibiwa.
Yes.
Ile vitu tulikuwa tunaita mofara kitambo.
Yes.
Hiyo taya ikiibiwa, kijana ako na stress za kutosha. Usimwambie taya ni nini.
Taya ni nini sasa? Toa ujinga hapa. Kwani unanishwa na nini hiyo kwanza?
Baba anamwambia unasumbuliwa na taya hapa wakati mimi nasumbuliwa na gari. Alafu nakuta neighbor ameibiwa baiskeli.
Yes.
Stress zake pia ziko kiwango cha juu kwa sababu hiyo baiskeli inaleta stress. And then kuna neighbor jirani mwingine motorbike ndio imeibiwa. Stress zake bado ziko juu.
Wakati waliiba wheelbarrow yangu.
Yes.
That thing caused me stress.
Wheelbarrow.
Yes.
Inaweza kukustress mpaka urali. Unakasirika.
Ndio ilikuwa my office at one point. Then mahali nilikuwa nakaa wakati huo ndio nilikuwa natumia kwenda kuchota maji ama kuteka maji. And then nimeteka maji nimeweka tu hapo nje ya nyumba, nikiingia kwa nyumba kutoka haiko.
Imeenda.
Hiyo kitu nimpea stress.
And one day I was living with a neighbor.
Yes.
This neighbor ameibiwa gari na mimi nilibwa viatu.
Yes.
Sasa mimi naona vile anapidwa mawe kwa gari. Niko na stress zangu za viatu. Nilikuwa na one pair. We were living in a plot ilikuwa na mwizi. Sasa ameiba kiatu nilitoa viatu nikaacha hapo nje ziko sawa.
Yes.
Then nikirudi nisivae niende na kuta zimeenda.
Yes.
Naye neighbor ameibiwa gari. Yeye anatafuta gari chini ya mawe. Unajua kwa kitu na stress kama kuibiwa gari.
I can feel for him.
Wale watu wanaibaga gari wanakoseanga sana.
Yes.
Hiyo kitu ni stressful. Alikuwa anaangalia funguo anasema nani niko na funguo.
Inaweza kuwa wapi?
Anarudi kwa nyumba anaitafuta bedroom. Anarudi anaangalia kwa stair, anapidua mawe. Na mimi niko na stress ya kiatu hapa. Na mimi namwambia mzee nani wameenda na gari yako? Unajua hata mimi nimeambiwa viatu. Sasa unaongea mambo ya viatu na gari.
Lewe yako ni unajua you don't have another pair. So
no, I don't have another.
Ameguza mwenye ameiba, ameguza moyo wako.
Hiyo stress kwangu ni nyingi. Naye akona stress ya gari maana hiyo ndio kiwango yake.
It's true.
So that's what we are saying. Stress is not one size fits for all.
Yes.
And you can find the way God handles us is the way we should handle people. Mtu hata kijana wata yake akienda kwa Mungu anamfariji. Babake ameibiwa baiskeli, Mungu anamfariji. Neighbor yao alipoteza motorbike, bado anapata faraja za Mungu. Yes. Alafu nakuta kuna mzee hapa ndege yake ilikataa kuguruma, ana stress, Mungu anamfariji. Na kuna mtu hapa ni mkoko imeenda.
Yes.
Na bado anapata faraja za Mungu.
It's true.
Because God understands we are all at different equal stages. Unequal stages.
Yes.
And we need encouragement where everybody is. So stress is not fit for all. Never tell a man you are stressed by silly things. Never tell another person you are stressed. Remove your stress here. I have big things to worry about.
Yes.
It is never a good thing to do because it's not one size fit for all. And the other thing is, it's not an excuse for mistreating others. Yes. Let me tell you something. Majority of men, when they have stress, is when they molest their wives, is when they beat children like animals, is when they behave unbecomely. Simply because you have stress, you can do anything to people. Stress is not an excuse. It's not a leeway of misbehaving as a man. You can be stressed and allow your family to have peace.
Yes.
You can be stressed at workplace, but don't carry your stress to home.
Not transfer the stress.
Don't transfer them, don't misplace them, and don't suppress them. Suppressing is, and maybe in the future we are going to look at different ways of not handling stress. And one of those ways is transferring stress, or you misplace them. You realize when a man is stressed at workplace, and he go home, he stresses the wife. The wife is not able to face this man, stresses the boy.
The children.
The child is not able to face the mother, he stresses the dog. The dog is not able to face the boy, stresses the chicken. And eventually you realize the whole compound, human and animals, is chaotic because stress is being transferred.
Yes.
And you know you can transfer your stress to animals.
Yes.
And they can catch your stress. And then they start behaving according to the atmosphere of the compound. So stress is not an excuse for you to mistreat your family, your workers, to mistreat people around you. Always differentiate what is causing stress to you because it's not an excuse.
Yes.
May I also say, it's not a justification for for neglect or self-care. You know, there are people who say, "Why are you not taking shower? I'm stressed." Bona uogi ni stress.
So you anaingia into self-pity.
Bona umevaanisha hivyo? Nasikia nikiwa na stress hata sitaki kuvaa nguo mzuri. Bona hujatarika kitanda ni stress. Bona nyumba hujaosha ni stress. So you realize kuna
ile stress niko nayo.
Yes.
Mimi sisikii kufanya anything.
Exactly. And that is how people behave. Have you ever seen men who are stressed? Unakuta hataki kuamka, hataki kuvaa vizuri, hataki kutoka nje akashughulike. So men have always used stress as a reason for not being responsible.
An excuse.
It's an excuse. Some even want to sleep the whole day. Why? I'm stressed. Some don't want to talk to anybody in the house. Why? I'm stressed. Stress is not an excuse for you to be something else. Actually, you should see stress as a way of sitting down and see how you can incorporate your family to help you handle it. Maybe unless they are stress you don't want to share. Because their men have stresses they don't want anybody to know.
I was thinking earlier on that stress na pressure
Yes.
kama kitu moja. When you're stressed, it's like you are under pressure.
Exactly.
And many things I've actually observed, vitu mingi zina happen kwa sababu kuna pressure. Hata unajua hata kukata mkate, it's because you exert some pressure.
You're right.
Even for the diamonds, you know, it's said that diamond is the hardest is the hardest mineral, and it's made under the highest pressure. Ndio utengeneze diamond, si hata kama gold, sio kama hii mawe tunaona hapa. It is under the highest pressure and heat, and then you get something yenye dunia mzima inaikibilia. So how you handle it, the issue is not the stress, the issue is not the pressure. I think the issue is how you handle it and the final outcome.
The issue is your response, because we said earlier, stress is not what is happening to us. Stress is how we respond to what is happening outside us. Stress has nothing to do with what is going on in you.
So eburudia hiyo kwa sababu I think that's a powerful.
Yes, I'm saying stress is not what is happening in us. Stress is about what is happening outside us. It's our response towards outside stressors. So if you can work on inside and calm your inside and deal with the man inside, the outside is where stress is coming from. You don't stress yourself inside. Things comes from outside, and that really require you act, and you feel inability to act. You feel inefficient of many things, and you want to respond. So stress is about our response. That has to do with our strategies of dealing with stress. It has to do with our responses to the stress. So it's not what is happening in us, it's what happens outside us. So it's response that matter.
Wow.
So when you say I am under pressure because of stress, it's because you are refusing to approach the outside matter without bringing them inside you. Yeah. So when you bring whatever is going on into your mind and heart and lock them there, then you are actually mismanaging stress, and it's going to mishandle you.
It's going to have a negative impact.
A great negative impact.
All right.
Then the other thing we can say on number 8, stress is inevitable. We said we are talking about what stress is not. It's not inevitable. Never believe the preacher who tells you you're not going to suffer stress, you're not going to get sick, you're not going to struggle. Let me tell you, struggle is part of life curriculum. There's no way you can live this life without struggle, because what do you think? This mother who have been given 3 children, or triplets, and they are here. One is crying, the other one is playing, the other one is asleep, and you have managed all of them. Do you see those blessings comes with some stress? But they are blessings.
Yes.
What about this man who have been blessed with maybe there are 4 buses traveling to Mombasa, to Nairobi, failing people, and they are yours, managing the drivers and the policemen. By the way, unajua industry ya mabasi ndio stressful, inaua wanaume haraka sana. Transportation industry.
Na akufi kwa sababu ya kuanguka na hiyo gari. Anakufa akiwa kwake amekuwa ameno.
Unakaa hapo unaona simu ya dere. Gari imeua mtu.
Hata unasikianga nikasikia mwingine ampiga simu. Hello? Hiyo mafuta ilikuwa sawa kweli? Mafuta kwa nini? Ni kama ilikuwa ya ndege. Ukisikia ni kama ilikuwa ya ndege, ngojea gari juu ya nyumba mahali.
Unajua inaleta
ingia WhatsApp. Eti fulani ni kama hizo miguu za gari zilikuwa zimefungwa vizuri. Nini mbaya? Ingia WhatsApp. Sasa ukisikia ingia WhatsApp, unasikia mwenyewe anasema si ingia WhatsApp siku mbili.
And you see, one of the reason I'm saying stress is inevitable is for people to understand. When you see someone who is highly blessed, don't always think they have an easy life.
Yes.
Because all God's blessings comes with some level of responsibilities.
Yes.
And those responsibilities are not going to be easy. When you have many workers, you really have to deal with some funny workers.
It's true.
And yet you have employed many workers because you have a big job.
It's true.
But then and you have big opportunity to help them.
It's true.
But you have some stress in you. So it's good for every man to know You will never avoid stress. You will never run away from stress. You will never live life completely free from stress. So when a pastor tells you you're not going to suffer stress, that's a liar. You're not going to face trouble, that's a liar. You're not going to get sick, that's a liar. I release the grace free from stress, that's a liar. Because even grace, the grace of God, adds more stress. Because handling heavy level of grace is stressful. Walking with God is stressful. Living a holy life is stressful. So stress is inevitable. We have to keep on responding to issues. Even when God speaks to you, it's so stressful. I don't know whether you have ever heard a voice of God that demands responsibility or obedience. And you hear how stressful it is. When God is, like for example, remember the case of Jehoshaphat. When Jehoshaphat is saying, the Meunite, Jebusite, and the rest have come to attack the children of Israel. And when they are coming to attack, God is telling Jehoshaphat, wake up in the morning, prepare the praise and worship team, don't carry any weapon, and face the army. And you see, he is facing 3 nations united, Meunite, Jebusite, and the other one I don't remember. And they had united. Then God is telling Jehoshaphat, you have to face the army with no weapon. And then you're going to lead them, praise and worship, sing. Just go with singing. Yes. Do you think, even though the story is told in the Bible of how God confused the enemies and they fought against one another, yes, in the heart of Jehoshaphat, obeying that is so stressful. How can I face 3 nations armed, armed fully to attack us, empty-handed? Even the demands of God comes with a level of stress.
So that means you have to be strong.
You have to be strong.
Even just like Abraham and najaribu imagine even the kind of the saga it caused kwa Sarah. You know, akisikia ati anaangalia mzee hajarudi, and then anaona Isaac amekuja hapa mbio akihema. Mwambie madhe unajua aje? Nilikuwa karibu kuchinjwa. Hiyo that in itself sio kitu rahisi hata kidogo. And now
maybe I said the last one.
Yes.
The last one is that stress is not a sign of spiritual immaturity or lack of faith.
Yes.
Believers have tendency to associate stress to something demonic, stress to lack of faith in God. Stress is also associated among the Christians to lack of spiritual growth, lack of understanding the word. Even when Jesus says, do not be worried about anything, he himself was also disturbed and stressed. In fact, when he was to face the cross, he said, my heart is so distressed to a point of death.
Yes.
And Jesus handled stress. Sometimes we hear he cried. Sometimes he was sad. Sometimes he was angry. You remember when he found his the temple being occupied by money changers?
Yes.
Jesus was so stressed and he actually had to fight. So there is no way we can associate stress to spiritual immaturity, because stress is actually tension between what you are and demands.
The forces out.
Yes, the things outside facing you.
Yes.
And I can say to all men who are born again, never associate stress as a sign of immaturity, as lack of trust in God, as lack of understanding the word, as stress as a sign of lacking true spiritual foundations. And I would say, actually being a Christian brings a lot of stress, because you have to behave like a Christian in all situations. Like I try to imagine one day, my brother, I had good stress.
Yes.
I hit someone with my car.
Yeah, and I see. I'm told that we have about a minute here.
Yes, I hit someone with my car.
Yes.
And then I want us to talk. He's calling everybody.
Kujani.
Then he is taking a video, and I'm a pastor. So I took his phone. Then he started shouting and calling everybody. You know, I had hit a very small thing. So it was not a big
wanted
damage.
to settle it.
Yes, and I wanted to give him the money he needed. But he said, if I give him money, he said, I don't want your money. And then I wondered why. Do you know I had to get in my car and then I ran away. But let me tell you, why I ran away, number one, I was so stressed.
Yes.
Because I knew you would take this to Facebook, social media.
Yes.
So again, it will trend and I'll have a lot of challenges.
Yes.
You see, being a Christian in that situation, so stressful. Sometimes you want to remain a believer in all situations. You see, being a Christian will also come with stress. But what we are saying here is not about demonizing stress. It's about understanding stress and handling stress in a proper way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And this is a great one. Unajua, mambo ya stress, what I've come to learn is that stress, you cannot really handle it in one sitting. I think it's really broad, and we have to invest more time in stress. We have to invest more time in stress. Learning it and knowing the causes, even the root causes, how to manage it, how to treat it, na mambo haya yote. And you see, today, for the first time on Men Matters, we have this segment. It's Men and Rights, Men and Rights. And that's where we be. Tutakuwa tunafikisha our discussion for today, and that's where we will end our discussion. Right. And then we get the next segment. So maybe in a minute, because now I borrow a minute of Men and Rights, and maybe a parting shot, maybe something in less than a minute, maybe that you can tell men about stress, and then we'll come back next Friday and to complete that part.
What I will say to all men: arm yourself for stress, because stress is here to be. Stress is part of your life, and one of the way God teaches us how to grow, how to become, and how to respond is allowing stress our way. And I'll tell every man, stress is part of God's curriculum to make you, to build you, to direct you, to challenge you, and to mature you. So as a man, be ready to handle stress. Don't run away from them. It's not a sign that you have a problem. It's a sign that you are living. So my parting shot to all men: handle stress with courage. Face it, stress and you will never separate. You will only handle one and you handle another. But among those stresses, you grow, you mature, you succeed, and at the end, you're also happy. God bless you.
Wow, thank you so much, Reverend Sami Mahoya, even for creating time to be with us today. Sasa hivi ningependa tuweze kuingia katika this next segment, this section ya Men and Rights. Until next Friday, see you and stay blessed. Now manage stress vizuri. Thank you so very much. Hi people. This is Men and Rights, iko ni ndani ya Men Matters Friday. And tuko hapa kuzungumza on all matters, cars, vehicles, rides. Of course najua wanaume unapenda magari. Wanaume ukitanja gari ushamtajia kitu ambacho kinaguza kwa moyo. And siku ya leo I'm at the match. Anaitwa the match. The match motors, yeah? And hapa kuna mambo mengi nataka tuweze kufanya leo. Like I want us to know, basically to understand, kuona gari, like what do I need? Nifanye nini niweze kupata gari? What do I need? The documentation, the stuff, basic things. And with me today is Bwana George from the match. How are you, sir?
Karibu sana.
Salama kabisa.
Good.
Hey, mimi nimetembea hapa leo, nikaangalia nikajiuliza. Bwana George.
Yes.
This is quite a good collection that you have here.
Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unajua sasa hapa ndani ya hii show.
Yeah.
Hii issue ya wanaume mainly, and wanaume wanapenda magari.
Yeah.
And unajua tangu mtu akiwa mdogo pale, watoto tu bado. Unajua kuna ile gari hata ile ya wire na nini. I think men and the cars ni kama wako wired together.
Kabisa. Hata mtu kitambo ukiwa mtoto unaanza kutengeneza kumold.
Yes.
Gari yako polepole unaimold, unaanza kuipeleka.
Yes.
Yeah, from kitambo unafikiria tu vehicles. And vehicles are very good. They are stress feeling. zinatoa stress kabisa.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sasa naangalia naona now in this collection, mi hata nataka kujiuliza swali. Let me ask you, Bwana George, maybe come with me. Just asking a question.
Yes.
Supposing that maybe nimependa hii gari.
Yeah.
And it's a good one. I love the blue.
Honda Fit, yeah.
This is a Honda Fit,
It's 2016 Honda Fit.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's one of the latest models.
It's one of the latest models in town.
Aha.
Yeah.
Sasa Munene ndiye huyu amekuja. Anataka kutoka hapa na hii gari.
Yeah.
What do I need?
Yes. Number one, you need money. Definitely. Hiyo ni kitu ya kwanza. Pesa lazima ikue.
Very true.
At least,
yes.
Yeah. At least even you have at least 50% of the unit. So number one, what you actually need when you want to own a car, you ask first yourself, do you want a vehicle to do business? Do you want a vehicle to do traveling, to go from one place to another? Or do I need a vehicle to take me from home to workplace? So there are some questions that run when you need a vehicle. Like now for a specific unit like this on the Honda Fit.
Yes.
If now Monene you want Honda Fit, majority of people who use Honda Fit, maybe you use it for matembezi, unatoka nyumbani, unaenda kazini, family car tu mzuri, ama you can use it, it's optional, you can still use it for taxi, because the vehicle itself, it's 1300 cc.
Even 1300?
Perfect.
Ini kama inanusa mafuta hata
inanusa tu, unaweka tu mafuta hivi inanusa tu. It's a very good car, well economical.
Yes.
Then the vehicle itself, spare parts availability zinapatikana. Kwa sababu kuna hiyo swali yenye umeniuliza, wajua usazile unakuja kuangalia gari, sana sana unaangaliaga consumption.
Yes.
Hiyo gari isikunywe sana. Number 2, spare availability. Ikiharibika kitu, will I enter in the next showroom na the next spare part shop na nichukue? Yes, kuna some hizo vitu very important that zenye mtu anaangaliaga.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, so now in terms of now umesema number 1 nijue the purpose as in kwa nini nataka gari.
Yes.
Number 2, I think inahitajika nijue maybe nitaitumia wapi, maybe kama ni mashambani ama ni town.
Yeah,
does it matter?
You see now it matters, yeah, but you see like specific vehicle like this, gari zote zinatokaga Japan. You know Japan roads there are very good. Yeah, so once it's here unapata imekuja ikiwa na low shocks nini iko chini, so unapata mguu lazima utabadilisha shocks, uweke zile mzuri. Haya, the coil spring ya hii gari unaweza iweka coil spring nyingine ndio inue.
Yes.
Whereby you can go anywhere. Utaenda ushago, utatumia huko kwa barabara vizuri, anywhere you can use it.
All right.
Yeah.
And now maybe it's a very nice
yeah.
Very nice machine.
Yeah.
And feels hiyo mlango ina feel iko,
it's very firm.
Yes, very firm.
Ni mzito vizuri.
So now what about maybe in terms of maybe documentation?
Yeah.
Documents.
Yeah.
Like what documents do I need when I go to buy a car?
Okay, when you're going to buy a car, the document number 1 you need is your KRA pin, and you need your ID.
Yes.
Yeah. And you must have an account in the Teams account. There is the new system which is the e-citizen. Kitambo ilikuwa inaitwa Teams, but now they joined in together. Now we have e-citizen whereby utapata mambo ya shamba pale, mambo ya magari pale. If you want to do so, you must have the Teams account with you.
Na sasa what if I have niko na kapesa yangu kwa brown envelope, kapesa mzuri. So does it mean siwezi nikapata gari na cash?
Nayo, because opening that account is just a matter of only 3 minutes. You have the account with you.
Right.
As long as you have the KRA pin and your ID.
Yes.
And the money, which is very important. Which is very important. Yeah.
Good.
And for this car,
yes,
you're not required to have the whole amount 100%.
Yes.
We have options where we do financing, or you can pay us like around 80%, then the balance you can pay it with 4 to 5 months. That's in-house financing. That's ours. That's in between me and you, we agree, and you have the unit with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now, Bwana George, It's naona kako.
Yeah, very good
It's-
features. Iko na auto stop, inajizima kwa jam. Saa zile umeenda jam imekuwa kubwa sana, inajizima. Ukikanyanga tu mafuta inajigurumisha.
Yani that means hata
I
kama
stop, it's called I stop feature.
I stop feature.
Yeah.
Which means hata kama kananusa mafuta bado kananusa zaidi. Ukifika kwa
Ukienda kwa jam hai waste mafuta.
This is a good one.
Yeah. It's very good, very good, very good kabisa. Hata sauti unaongezea
So
hapo.
hakuna kushinda ku
Eh,
you just
sauti
everything is
ni
here.
hapa. Yeah.
Now something else.
Yeah.
Nimekuja ndio hiyo sasa tumesema ndio hiyo gari natoka nayo. What about the insurance? Naona already iko na nimeangalia nje nikaona iko na sticker. So
hiyo sticker ya insurance hiyo ni ile yenye tukikuja nazo kutoka Mombasa zikiletwa, hiyo ni insurance ile on transit tu. So we are required to renew a new insurance with your names.
So that means before nitoke nayo hapa lazima nikate insurance mpya
Under your name. Yes.
Na unajua kuna kama mimi naweza nikaangalia nikaona they are like kuna miezi kama 2 ama miezi 3 insurance imeshughulika already. Niseme ni chomoke
No,
nayo.
it's very wrong because number one, the insurance should be under your name. So you should confirm the insurance, it will be under your name. Kwa sababu if anything happens, wanaangaliaga the insurance, it's under who. So the insurance should be under your name so that you are covered.
Wow, this is a beautiful one. Now, hey, bwana, this is a good machine. That's a Honda. Honda ni which country?
Honda is from Japan still.
Japan.
It's Japan. Yeah. Now Hondas ni gari zimekuwa of late they are becoming very popular cars because of the spare parts ziko available kwa wingi na ni gari nzuri and they have been giving the service best. Yeah.
Now, Bwana George.
Yeah.
Maybe I ask another question.
Yes.
Mimi napenda tuseme is a Honda ama ni
the Toyota.
Maybe
this one is Toyota GT86.
Tutakuja kwake in a short while.
Okay.
Sababu nimeona kuna kitu imenifurahisha nayo.
Yeah.
So tutakuja nayo possibly next week tutarudi kwa hii.
Sawa kabisa.
The next episode. Lakini wacha niulize. Supposing maybe that fit ama any other vehicle. Nimependa gari kama hii. Ama nyingine maybe I've just spotted a vehicle nikiangalia browsing and all that. And maybe you don't have that vehicle here
at the showroom. Yeah.
Can I import?
Yeah.
And how simple is it to import a vehicle?
So the process is very simple. You can come, you show us, I've liked a specific vehicle.
Yes.
And I want it with specific rims. I want the interior to be with leather seats. More specifically, you can say even the seats, I want them with the bucket seats. The bucket seats are the seats that zinakaa ni kama zinakuhug kutoka nyuma.
Like zingine
like this one.
The bucket seat. Nyingine sijui in a clock 6 something.
Yeah, 320 speed. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, sasa hata kuna hizo specifications bado mtu anaweza kuja aseme I want this specific unit, it's GT86. I want it with good leather seats, ikuwe na seat warmers and seat cooling.
Yes.
Yeah, ikuwe specific color, ikuwe specific everything you want it to be specific.
So unataka something custom.
Yeah.
Customized, yes.
Now we have our best dealers in Japan, whereby we have trusted them and also they've trusted us 100%. So we send them the specifications that our clients want. Yes. So they give us the options of what they have. Then on our side, we share it with the client. We show our clients we have this and this and this. Even the color the client wanted, it's there. With all the specifications that the client wanted, tunamwonyesha zote zenye tuko nazo.
Yes.
So after that, you do a payment of 50% if you are comfortable with the vehicle. So after that, when you pay the 50%, it takes about like 4 to 5 weeks. Gari itakuja, itakuwa kwa port this side. Na pia tunajulisha client venye gari imekuja, everything process kwenye imefika.
So naweza kutrack. I can track my vehicle ikikuja.
Yeah, tunamuexplainia where the vehicle is. Yeah. So after the vehicle gets to the port, so we organize about the registrations and the clearance and everything with the shipping, everything we pay, and the vehicle is released and it comes to the showroom. The client views and we finish the deal.
Unajua umeisema ni
It's very simple.
Is that simple?
It's that simple. Hakuna mambo ngumu. Yeah.
Now before we wind up.
Yeah.
Naona kama hapa kuna gari ya green.
Yeah, sure. These are the new KGs. Kitambo tulikuwa tunatumia number plate ya the same color imeandikwa KG.
Yes.
So this is the new Kenya Garage number plate. Hii ya green.
Yes.
There are some numbers zenye unaonaga ziko tofauti. Like this one mostly commonly inatumika na gari zenye zinakuja on transit, the KD.
Yes.
And kuna zile zingine.
Yes.
Za the parastatal. Parastatals are blue.
These are blue.
The blue number plates.
Yes.
Those ones are parastatals number plate. Na kuna
right.
zile zingine za red.
Za red nayo
red zinakuwaga za UN.
The missions hizo, the United Nations na zingine.
Exactly. Yeah, so kuna hizo some varieties of numbers zenye zinakuwaga tofauti.
Wow.
The colors.
Bwana George.
Yeah. Like sasa kama hili arrive, like this one is a very good car.
Yes.
This one the Isuzu Komo. Inatumika sana na wale watu wa kubeba.
It's spacious.
Yeah, very spacious.
Huge. Wow. Nakwambia bwana, you have really done a wonderful job.
Sasa kama hii, you see like now this specific vehicle is very good.
Yes.
It's 2500 cc. Na hizi normal Hias zinakuwaga 3000 diesel. This one is still diesel. Hii gari spare parts and everything zinakuwaga best na ziko available.
Yes.
And you find that this vehicle is at 1.8. Now the Hias, it's around 3 million. Sasa you see,
that's almost half the price.
So unapata these vehicles come with very good servicing. Ni mzuri sana. And saizi ndio zimeanza kuingia kwa market. Sasa badala ya mtu kununua ile ya 3000, ile ya 3 million, you better save that amount and you buy this one. And this one is a very good unit.
Wow. Awesome. Bwana George, mimi nimeenjoy sana leo.
Good. Thank you.
In fact, what I'll do is that next week.
Yeah.
Next week I come along.
Okay.
We'll have to do something else here kwa sababu
karibu sana.
Nimeona uko na vitu mingi and you have so much information that
karibu sana.
I feel wanaume tunahitaji kujua.
Karibu sana.
Ama namna gani? Thank you so much. This is Men and Rides. Leo niko hapa katika the Match Motors. Na nimekuwa na Bwana George ambaye ni mmoja wa the directors katika the Match Motors. Asante sana until next Friday. This is Men Matters, Men and Wheels, Men and Rides. Wow.
Welcome to the Match Motors, where we have the best car deals in Nakuru City. It's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience the best. We are located along Leonard Gala Street, opposite Nakuru Day. For more information, contact us on 0799600300 or 0798600300.